the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. My eyes done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. My eyes done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money. All you guys are like, bro, they're wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. Yo, it's the love of money that's important. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yeah, I can just think about all the things that I think you have to say. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. H Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Line with your main man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to not spit all over the microphone, right? Where I do my absolute best to provide practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to be able to come to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri, where if you guys have not checked out the Black Wealth Movement, your grandkids and great-great-grandkids and great-great-great-great-grandkids are counting on you to do so, because the Black Wealth Movement is all about helping you create multi-generational wealth. That is something that we sorely need in the Black community, is a solid understanding of how to do just that. So we're going to teach you the ins and outs of capitalism. Capitalism is the language of America. It's not in English, right? That's how other cultures can come into our communities, set up shop, and then go rebuild their nation off our income, is because they understand the language of capitalism. So we're going to help you understand entrepreneurship. We're going to help you understand tax minimization. We're going to help you understand how to get yourself out of debt. We're going to help you with a credit education program so you can get your credit score up, keep your credit score up, and leverage that credit score to build wealth. And then we're going to teach you how to accumulate assets, right? Asset accumulation is critically important. We've got to get you good. We just got to make that happen, Erica. I apologize. I know we had some technical difficulties last year. We tried to have you on, but most definitely we can get you on the show. That's not a problem at all. I would certainly appreciate that. So the Black Wealth Movement, to learn more, go to www.blackwealthmovement2017.com. If you want to have a conversation with me about the Black Wealth Movement, just shoot me a text to 314-874-6887. Just text Black Wealth Movement again to 314-874-6887. I'd love to have you learn more about what we're doing. And here's what you know, the Bible talks about the harvest being plentiful, but the laborers are few, right? There are tons and tons and tons of struggling Black Americans who are looking for the solution that we offer, but they just haven't found me yet. Now, eventually they will, because I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep myself out in front of the masses until they do. But guess what? If I have the right team of people out there as ambassadors of the Black Wealth Movement along with me, then they don't have to find me. They can find you. They can find others. And you guys can help us educate the masses of our community on true wealth building principles and strategies and how to take their financial situations to another level. So again, text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887 and get you some more information on what it is we do and how we do it, who we are and who we are not. All right, and do me a huge favor, you're checking us out on Periscope. Go ahead and invite your followers and tweet this out for me. YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed, and copy the link and share it on your favorite social media timeline to introduce other people to this show. And my fans on Facebook, do me a huge favor, make sure that you are sharing this on your wall, and make sure that you do the hearts and the thumbs up and the likes, because if you appreciate this content, then chances are other people you know will appreciate it. And we want to compete with the ratchetness out there. One of the reasons that our young people fill their minds and their hearts with so much junk It's because all that's out there is junk. So when we have a show like this where we're bringing positive energy every morning, then you tell Facebook that this is a good show by the amount of engagement you have with the show. So like, share, comment. That's what makes Facebook pushes out to more and more people so that we can then compete with some of the ratchetness out there. Now, if you're new to the show, let me tell you exactly who this show is for. This show is for risers and grinders only. If you're ready to get up, get out, and get something this morning, this is your show. This show is for legacy builders. You have to be of a certain mindset to make some of the tough sacrifices to build a legacy for your family so your children won't have to make the same sacrifices. Right? If that's you, this is your show. If you're like me, every night I lay down to sleep, I'm saying, what can I do tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next 5 years, 10 years down the road to make sure my children's children will be proud to bear my last name? But if that's you, this is your show. Like Dame Dash says, man, I don't want to hustle for my first name. I hustle for my last name. And in the next 10 years, y'all gonna see Thornton everywhere. Thornton Inns, Thornton Hotels, Thornton Arena, Thornton Restaurant, Thornton Gas Station, Thornton's everything, man. Because I don't hustle for my first name, I hustle for my last. If that's you, this is your show. On the other hand, who is the show not for? If you are that type of person that can't stand the fact that we talk about building wealth and creating legacies every morning, this ain't your show. If you are the type of person that literally has that weird relationship with money where you think money is evil, you think capitalism is a dirty word, you think wealthy people are snobs, this ain't your show. In fact, get off my stream, because everybody on this stream is wealthy or on their way to being wealthy, right? But you have to understand, if you have that kind of relationship with money, chances are you will never attract money to you, but instead you will repel it away from you. And that could be the problem that you have. Money don't solve all problems. Money ain't everything. We get that. But when you get your money right, a lot of things tend to fall into place. So if that's you, you can't stand that we're talking about money, go ahead and exit stage left. We don't mind. But like I tell you each and every morning, I don't have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. I only have a problem with you when you have a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. Don't let my aspirations of greatness rub you the wrong way, right? And if you've never seen a future billionaire before, I want you to take a screenshot, and watch me work. 2027, it's going down. It's going down. I will be a billionaire by 2027. Man, you can't be a billionaire in 10 years. Ask the founders of Uber. Uber is 8 years old, 8.5 years old, worth $3 billion. Uber is 8.5 years old, worth $3 billion. So don't tell me you can't become a billionaire in 10 years, right? It didn't take Google that long. It didn't take Facebook that long, right? So if that's you and you can't stand that we talk about wealth, legacy, and really doing some amazing things in the Black community, then you can exit stage left. Now, today, let's rock and roll, man. We're finishing up our study on the secrets of the richest man who ever lived. This is part 3. The richest man who ever lived, part 3, right? So in this book by Mike Murdoch, he talks about 31 secrets of King Solomon, right? And I like the way he writes his book, because there's always 31 something, because he writes them in a way that you can study just one principle per day, because it's usually between 30 and 31 days in a month. So every day you can just study a principle, and then he gives biblical references so you can cross-reference that. But this thing right here, man, is the truth. So if you missed yesterday's episode or the episode the day before, then you got to jump back onto my timeline, or go over to the YouTube channel, and they will be the last 2 videos that I put up. YouTube is at youtube.com/financial health mentor. We're on Periscope at Cortez Springer. And then if you have not already sent me a friend request, at Cortez Springer on Facebook. You can find the shows there, and you can also find these shows as well as other great content on my fan page, facebook.com/financial health mentor. So let's get right into number 21. Number 21, Solomon was thankful for the irreplaceable gift of favor from others. Thankful, right? We did a whole show on the attitude of gratitude, man. Are you thankful for the favor, right, We often say in the Christian community that favor ain't fair, right? Because it really isn't, man. You don't really know why somebody favors you over somebody else. But if they do, then you might want to show them a little gratitude, man. Be grateful, right? I think one of the notes that we pulled out is that everyone wants to be appreciated. So if you know this about people, if everybody wants to be appreciated, how can you stand out in somebody's life? By showing them that you appreciate them, right? And the second thing is, it only takes a minute, literally. And you can have a lifelong lasting effect on somebody by expressing to them your gratitude, right? Give you an example. My girl, author Bethany Rucker, she sells essential oils, and I bought some from her because she was asking me, she was telling me what they do and all that stuff. I said, cool, let me try some out. I tried some essential oils from author Bethany Rucker. If you have not tried the essential oils, then you ought to get with her. And you know, when my voice gets raspy like this, she says, hey, you need to get you a diffuser so that you're constantly diffusing some of the remnants of essential oil, lemon, and I think lavender. And she said that will help your voice since you talk so much in the morning. Now, I don't know if she was being funny. She said, but since you talk so much, well, she could have said since you talk too much. She said since you talk so much, diffusing that during your show would actually help. But here's what I'm getting at. Attitude of gratitude. Do you guys know a couple weeks later, after I made my purchase of SB essential oils, I received in a mail a handwritten thank you note. I received in the mail a handwritten thank you note from SB essential oil signed by author Bethany Rucker saying thank you for my business. I spend a lot of money every month. And I can't tell you if I have ever received a handwritten thank you note, ever. So you want to make a lasting impression on somebody, go out of your way to let you know that you are thankful for them going out of their way to show you some favor, right? That's number 21. Number 22. I've got some excerpts I'm going to read from this too. So I'm going to thumb through the book as we go on. Number 22. This is a good one, y'all. This is a good one. Number 22. He trusted his mentor. 22. He trusted his mentor. Now, you guys know I'm the financial health mentor to the Black community, right? But how many of you guys know that there's only a few who actually trust me? He trusted his mentors. Now, on a smaller scale, I personally mentor a few dozen people personally. I mentor them personally. We talk, we're in counseling sessions, we're in team meetings and things of that nature. I personally mentor a few people directly. Thousands of others indirectly, but directly mentor a few. And do you know who's getting and seeing the most growth, getting the most benefits out of our mentoring sessions? Those who trust me to do what I advise them to do. I've been to a lot of people who don't trust me and they fight with me on everything that I recommend. They fight with me on everything that I recommend. And here's what's funny. Most of them are counseling and mentoring with me because of business, right? So we're in business coaching sessions. Now, I am a full-time entrepreneur. I make 100% of my income through business. If I don't put out content, if I don't make certain moves, we don't eat. So I will give them instructions on what to do. They say they want to get where I am. They want to retire and fire their boss and all that stuff. They want to get where I am. And I tell them how I've done it. And then you know what they have the nerve to do? They take my advice from somebody who does this full time, makes 100% of his income from entrepreneurship. They take my advice and then they go counsel with their coworker. They take my advice and before they act on it, they have to go run it by their coworker. Wait a minute. You got to take the advice of somebody who makes 100% of his income through entrepreneurship. You're trying to be an entrepreneur, but then you're going to take my advice and only act on it if it is approved by your coworker who makes none of his income, none of her income through entrepreneurship, but make her income through a job like you. You got to trust your mentors. Since mentors are those who have been where you want to go. They have done something you want to accomplish. Their endurance qualifies them to counsel and advise you. Proverbs 9:9 says, give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. Right? You have to trust your mentors. If they have accomplished something that you say you want to accomplish, then it might benefit you to listen to them, right? Listen to them. So one of the a couple other key points, it says your mentor is actually a gift from God. Your mentor is a gift from God, right? Here's the other thing that most people don't get about mentorship. Those who counsel with me the most are those who seek me out. It says you have to pursue your mentor. Those who counsel with me and are having the most effect are those who seek me out. I have a few that I counsel with almost daily. You know why? Because they call me every day. Now, I have what most people consider an open door policy, right? I'm gonna give you a testimony real quick. When I started counseling with and mentoring Ariel Bivens Biggs, her husband James Biggs, which is a good friend of mine from elementary school, and their son Mikey, I start counseling them and mentoring them. And I'm just going to give you some effects of her seeking me out, right? Because she sought me out, she's exploded her nonprofit organization, Young Biz Kids, and is probably in the top 2 in running for a $20,000 grant from Washington University here in St. Louis, Missouri. Because she seeks me out and seeks counsel and calls me almost every day and get advice, she was able to explode her financial education business to another level. She's advanced in rank twice already. Because she seeks me out, we were able to work with her son in exploding his vending machine business. Then we got together and helped her son publish his first book. Then we got together and helped her son become a best-selling author through her seeking me out. I didn't call her every day and say, Ariel, here's what you need to do. I did not call her every day and say, here's what you need to do. She called me every day and said, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. How do you think I should go about it? She calls me every day and say, hey, here's what's on my mind. Is my thought process right? Here's what I want to accomplish. Here's what I think the next step for Mikey is to take his book to another level. Is this something that you think we should be doing? You have to seek out your mentor. You have to pursue your mentor, right? And then I have others that I mentor I hardly ever talk to. And I said, brother, I didn't call you because I just know you're so busy. Yeah, I'm busy mentoring Ariel because she calls me every day. And she's taking her life from glory to glory because she's pursuing her mentor, right? Are you guys pursuing your mentor? Or are you assuming that your mentor is too busy to have time for you? Are you pursuing your mentors, or are you assuming your mentor doesn't have time for you? See, you know your mentor got time for you, but what you're doing is you're rationalizing that he doesn't or she doesn't have time for you so that you don't have to actually take the action to call. Because what Ariel knows is when she calls me all the time and she lays out her plan and I give her some direction, when she calls me tomorrow, I'm going to challenge her on whether or not she took the direction that I gave her yesterday. See, that's why some people don't call me. Sometimes that's why people don't call me. Because if you call me today, I'm going to give you some instructions. And then when you call me tomorrow, I'm going to hold you accountable for the instructions I gave you yesterday. And you don't really want that, right? That's why people don't pursue their mentors, right? You have to pursue your mentors. Evan will tell you, Evan, who do you mentor the most? The people who call you the most, the people who reach out to you the most. Not that I won't mentor the other people. It's the people that reach out to the people who pursue me are the people who I mentor the most. And guess what? It just so happens that those people are the people who are having the most growth in their business, in their personal life, in their financial life. Wherever I'm mentoring and helping them, they are exploding. Not just because of me, but because if they are pursuing me, then they're actually going to be accountable to taking the steps that I'm providing, right? So he mentions those who want results the most. Yeah, because if you want results, Evan fixes broke. If you don't want to be broke, you will be calling Evan's phone every day so he can fix broke for you. But if you don't want results, then you're not calling, and you're probably going to use that excuse, man, I know Evan is busy, so I ain't even going to call. They just happen to be the one who show they are serious about success in their actions. Yeah, exactly. Right. So he trusted his mentors. Are you trusting your mentors today to constantly be engaged with them so that you can fix your thought process? Because thought process leads to the words that come out of your mouth leads to action, actions lead to habits, habits lead to character, and your character dictates your destiny. Are you trusting your mentors? Right? Are you trusting your mentor? Lord said, I'm off for the next 6 months. You're going to get tired of me. Hey, man, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, number 23. Number 23. This is also a good one. He learned from his tragedies, right? He learned from his tragedies. He learned from his tragedies. And I'm going to say this one. I'm not going to stick on this one too long. But here's one thing that you have to know about tragedy. You can't prevent tragedy from occurring. However, you can prevent that tragedy from destroying you. You can't prevent the tragedy, but you can prevent the tragedy from destroying you. In other words, you can determine how you respond to the tragedy, right? You have to determine your response to the tragedy, and that's what determines whether or not that tragedy will destroy you. You cannot, tragedies are going to happen, man. Bad things happen to good people. But you can control whether or not you let those bad things actually destroy you, right? Number 24. He chooses his words very carefully, right? Solomon understood the devastating effect of wrong words. Are you choosing your words carefully? Some of us have been trained to say what we want, but we have not trained ourselves to not say what we don't want. I'm gonna run that back. Some of us are training ourselves to start speaking what we do want, but you have to take it to another level and start training yourself to not say what you don't want. Give an example. You've all heard it said, somebody has probably said it to you. Man, I love you to death. Hey, don't love me to death. I don't know. Love me to life. Love me to life. Don't even use my name and death in the same sentence, please. Right? So while we're training ourselves to say the things that we do want, make sure we're not training ourselves to not say the things that we don't want. Man, I'm just too tired to get out of bed. You'll never get out of bed. If that's not what you want, don't say that. Man, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, man, I'm broke as a joke. If that's not what you want, don't say that. See, we're trying to transition to start speaking that which we do want, but you got to be certain that you stop saying that which you don't want. It goes both ways, right? So he understands the effect of wrong words. Let me see. I've got a couple excerpts that I wanted to read. So a few facts about words, and I'm just going to give you a couple of them. But that's why this thing is so good. We can't. This so just in this section alone, he gives 47 facts about words, right? I'm gonna give you a couple of them, right? Words can poison and destroy a young man's entire life, right? He said references read Proverbs 7. Any man who controls his mouth is literally protecting his own life. That's Proverbs 13:3. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. Right, here's another one. Those who talk too much will eventually be destroyed. Right? Proverbs, the second part of Proverbs 13:3. He that openeth his lips shall have destruction. He that openeth his lips shall have destruction. Right? Speaking, just talking for the sake of talking. Right? And then the last one I'll give you is this one. Right words can turn an angry man into a friend, and wrong words can turn a friend into an enemy. Right words can turn an angry man into a friend, and wrong words can turn a friend into an enemy. That's Proverbs 15:1 that actually says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Are you paying attention to the words that come out of your mouth? Yes, I'm starting to speak life over my life. Yes, I'm starting to say, yes, I am a future billionaire. Yes, I will be an instrumental part of reclaiming and transforming the Black community. Yes, I will rebuild the Black community one family at a time. But at the same time, are you making sure that you're not saying things that you don't want? Right? All right, son, when you go out tonight, don't do nothing stupid. I don't want him to do anything stupid, so why would I even plant the seed that suggests that he would do something stupid? Don't say what you don't want. Do say what you do want. And it takes years and years and years of practice. But the power of words, we understand from a speak things into existence, but we don't realize how sometimes we speak our negative situations into existence all the same. Right? If you are in a negative situation, you planted those seeds for that negative situation to exist. If you are going through a storm in your life, you probably start sowing the seeds for that storm last year. And then as you continue to talk, you started to nurture and cultivate and nourish that storm for a year. That storm grew to a full-blown plant tree that is now starting to bear fruit in your life, right? So just like a good fruit, a good tree can bear good fruit, a negative tree will bear negative fruit. So if you've been sowing negativity in your life for 5-10 years, guess what? You probably in a 5-10 year negative storm. Because as you sowed those things, they grew and they became full-blown trees and plants in your life, and now they are starting to bear fruit, and you're reaping the harvest of the negative seeds that you've been sowing. So don't just only say what you do want, stop saying what you do not want. Right? Words are powerful. All right, number 25. Let's see, number 25. Another good one, man. And I'm learning this one, right? Because you guys see I get trolls on Periscope all the time. I'm learning this one. Solomon never wasted time correcting fools. Never wasted time correcting fools. I've done that and gotten myself into arguments with people who just aren't mentally mature. And then because of the argument, I brought the argument home with me. Now I'm telling my wife about the argument, and God forbid she takes that person's side. Now me and her are arguing. Never waste time correcting fools, right? Same thing as casting your pearls be among swine. Yeah, Giovanni, it's crazy. So you got to just learn to let some people be. Right now, key word there, I want you to underline it and put a circle around it, is never waste time correcting fools. It's not never waste time correcting those who are genuinely just out of place and just generally don't know or generally seeking wisdom, right? Fools, a fool is someone who knows they're ignorant and they're okay with that and they don't want to be nothing but that. And the term ignorant, don't let that fool you as a harsh word. It just means those who are unlearned. But if you're unlearned and you're unwilling to seek knowledge, then that makes you a fool. Because you're unlearned and can't nobody tell you nothing. Yeah, you're a fool. So don't waste your time correcting those people. I've learned to just say, amazing. You just gonna do that just like that? Okay. I'm sure that's gonna work out for you just fine. And I keep it pushing. And I keep it pushing, right? So you got to be careful about wasting time correcting fools. Number 26. All right, we got to hustle a little bit. We got to hustle. Solomon rewarded those who helped him achieve his goals. Now, let's talk about the difference between the attitude of gratitude and rewarding those, right? Because early on, and what did it say in number 21? He was thankful for those he found favor with. But now we're on number 26. He went beyond expressing his attitude of gratitude and actually provided rewards for those who have helped him. When's the last time you rewarded somebody for helping you do something? When's the last time you actually rewarded somebody? Not just said thank you, I mean rewarded somebody. Whether it was a monetary gift, a small token, a gift card to a movie, you rewarded somebody for helping you accomplish a goal, right? Helped my aunt move the other day. And it's so funny that, you know, me and my son, so she gave me some money for helping her move, which she didn't have to. And I said, okay, then later on she had a dinner. So I tried to give her some of the money back because she didn't have to give me no money to help her move, right? So I gave her the money back. And then she sent her son out to bless me for something I did in his life to give me the money back again, right? So it was just funny. We just got this little money that we're trying to give back and forth to each other. But I eventually have to accept the money because I know that she's a Christian and I know what she's doing. See, the Bible says that if you bless those who are blessed, then that's how you get your blessing. See, God says he will bless those who bless me, and he will curse those who curse me. So in order for her to get her blessing, she was blessing me so that God would bless her. And then I was trying to give the blessing back, which in essence was robbing her of her blessing. And then she said, no, you ain't gonna rob me of my blessing. And she gave the money back to me again. Right? So number 26 is reward those who help you, Robert. Reward those who help you. Reward those who help you. So when people are trying to bless you and reward you, understand that they understand the law of reciprocity. They understand how God rewards. They're blessing you because you are being a blessing. And if they bless you, they know that God is going to bless them. So sometimes I try to be humble and say, oh, you don't have to do that. But when I don't receive somebody's blessing, I'm actually blocking their blessing. Because the only way for them to get blessed is to bless the people of God. So it was funny that we went back and forth with the money. Yeah, 26 was reward those who helped you. They helped you accomplish anything. Don't just say thank you. Reward them. Even if you don't have the money, reward them some kind of way. Reward them some kind of way. Number 27. He established a reputation of wisdom and integrity. Wisdom and integrity. Right? What kind of reputation are you establishing today? What kind of reputation are you establishing today? When somebody says your name, Robert E. Plant, what does that mean to them? What character traits are the first to pop in their head when somebody mentions your name around them? What are you establishing as a primary character trait that will ring, that will echo when someone mentions your name? Right? What is the character trait that echoes? Hopefully for me, when somebody says H Cortez, they're saying the same thing: wisdom and integrity. I know they're saying consistency. Dude is just amazingly consistent. Every time I turn on Facebook, I see him. Right? Hopefully, when people are saying, when they say H Cortez or financial health mentor, hopefully what's echoing as a character trait is honesty, is committed, is compassion for the community. Hopefully that's what's ringing out. That is what I'm trying to establish as my reputation, right? What are you establishing as your reputation? What are you establishing as your reputation? Because your reputation will precede you, whether it's positive or negative. And I would tell you, there's nothing like when I'm introduced to somebody new and they say, man, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so many great things about you. That tells me I'm doing a fairly decent job of establishing my reputation of integrity, accountability, honesty, wisdom. And when people reach out to me, they're saying, you know what? I heard some good things about you, man. So-and-so told me that I just had to meet you. So your reputation will precede you, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Cultivate the right reputation, man. And one of the ways that you have to do that in the 21st century in 2017, make sure that how you show up on social media is who you really are. Make sure that how you show up on social media is a real representation of who you are. I'm conscious even about the things I like on Facebook. Because you realize when you like something, your name is plastered and attached to that thing forever. If I like some rump shaking, booty shaking, half naked women stuff, my name is associated with that thing forever. And then you come onto the show and you say, hey, I hear him talk a lot about Christian principles and values. Seems like a good dude, but at the same time, I see he's liked about 30 fight videos. What you do on the internet stays with you forever. Now, can a person evolve? Absolutely. But why leave any opportunity or any room for your character to be questioned in the first place? Why leave any room for your character to be questioned in the first place? Bible talks about even the appearance of evil. I don't even want it to look like evil. I don't even want it to look like I'm doing anything that's out of character. Even the appearance of evil can destroy a good man's name. Right? Even the appearance of evil can destroy a good man's name and have him having to backpedal and explain that nah, it ain't what it appeared to be. No, I don't even want it to appear to be. I don't even want it to appear to be in the first place. Right? You've got to be cautious about that. Establish your reputation. A good name is better than silver and gold. And sometimes all it takes is a single word to destroy a good name. A single accusation can destroy a good name that it has taken you a lifetime to build. So the more I establish this character of integrity and honesty and wisdom, the harder I have to fight to keep it intact. Number 27, establish a reputation of wisdom and integrity. The more I establish that reputation, the harder and more careful I have to be with the moves that I make, because I don't want to be working on this thing for 50 years and then in a single year, it's all down the tubes. There's a single allegation. So the more I put into it, the more I have to put into it to work to protect it. Because it is 10 times harder to overcome a lie than it is to build honesty to begin with. Takes one coat of black paint to cover a white wall. How many coats of white paint do it take to cover that black wall? Right? Number 28. This was interesting to me, and I never really thought about it this way. But 28 says, Solomon understood the power of music. He wrote over 1,000 songs. Solomon understood the power of music, and then it lists some things that music can do for you. And I started to think about it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It says music energizes, music motivates, music takes us away from the present. Music focuses our heart on beauty. Music helps us escape unpleasant circumstances. Music heals. Music births hope for change in our relationship. Music lives when everything around us is dying. Music is a current in the ocean of life, moving us toward the palace of our dreams. Music restores when we have been wounded. I didn't think about that, man. So Solomon understood the power of music. And when you think about it, music is the soundtrack of life, right? If I say, depending on how old you are, if I say MC Hammer can't touch this, dun, 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 you instantly go back to a place in your life when that music was the popular music of the day, right? For some of you guys who are old enough to remember, I can say Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Maybe that's a bad example. I just talked about honesty and integrity and your life and all of that stuff, man. Then I go with Dr. Dre, The Chronic. But you instantly go back to a place in your life when that was the soundtrack of a year, of a time in your life, right? A man can evolve. A man can evolve, right? A man can evolve, right? I've since evolved from Dr. Dre, The Chronic, and so much so that I miss The Chronic too, right? But that music is the power and understanding, and he understood that, and he used that to move those around him and to help get things accomplished. So I thought that was an interesting point, right? So number 29. So number 29. He qualified those who had access to him. He qualified those that had access to him, right? He qualified those that had access to him. How many of you guys know that everybody shouldn't have access to you? Everybody shouldn't have access to you, or else you can be dealing with a lot of people who will waste a lot of your time. So when I was talking about Ariel, the reason she gets to call me every day, because everything I tell her to do, I see her doing it. And I see her getting the results, and I see her growing. So she can call me every day. In fact, she has been so instrumental in helping me and I helping her that she is the only woman that has permission to call me after hours, because that's the kind of impression that she has made on my wife. So she would sometimes text my wife and say, "Hey, is Cortez still up?" Because they have a certain relationship. You have to qualify those that have access to you, especially when you get to continue to build and grow your wealth and you're thinking about protecting your good name. Then any and everybody can't always be in your personal space. And I want to read something to you from this one. It says, confidentiality is important to the wealthy. In fact, confidentiality is required among the wealthy because they know that personal information is often distorted, misused, and even sold to the highest bidder. It is not uncommon for the wealthy to ask employees to sign contracts guaranteeing privacy, confidentiality, and discretion. The wisdom of Solomon is filled with rewards for those who are discreet and confidential. Note these principles found in Proverbs 21:23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from trouble. Keeping his soul from trouble. You have to qualify those that are allowed to be in your personal space all the time. Because we don't need no Martin Lawrence's run tell that in my circle. Not in my intimate circle. Right? There's only certain people that can come into my intimate circle. Because you have to be able to trust somebody with who you are when you're down. Right? Because sometimes the person that you become in the moment of extreme pain and discomfort, sometimes you can get out of character. And the wrong person could take you at that moment and use the facts of that moment to literally destroy everything you built overnight. So you have to qualify those that you allow into your personal circle. Right? My personal circle is extremely small. My personal circle is extremely small. And those that are in that personal circle have been thoroughly qualified to have access to me in those moments of my life. You know, like when my Uncle Billy passed here recently, right? That was an intimate moment. That was a painful moment for me. Everybody didn't get to see. Yes, I talked about it on the show, but everybody didn't get to see how I dealt with that pain. Because somebody could have used that, misused that, misconstrued that, and chose that to try to bring me down in some way. Right? So you have to be careful and be sure to qualify everybody that you're going to allow access into your confidential and personal space. So I thought that was a pretty good one. That was 29. 30. This is also interesting. We heard him say that, and one of the previous myths, that he only hired the best of the best, but now he takes it to another level and said he only hired happy people. He only hired happy people. I said, man, what is that about? When you think about it, if someone comes to you to do a job for you and they are disgruntled, can you really trust that they're going to do the best job that they possibly can? Can you trust that they have a certain level of passion for what they're doing, that you're going to get the best out of them? He only hired happy people, man. I only like to be around happy people. Negative people and sad people, that is draining, man. So I thought that was interesting that he only hires happy people. Right? So in one section he said he only hires the best of the best. So when you're dealing with somebody, you need work done in whatever capacity, a coach, a mentor, whether you need work on your house or whatever, you hire the best of the best. You hire those who are a 10 at what they are doing. Right? You hire those who are a 10 at what they're doing. But not only now is he saying, not only do I hire those who are a 10, but I also hire those who are a 10 and those who are always happy. Which in essence are the same thing, because you don't get to a 10 in anything unless you have a extreme amount of passion and it makes you happy doing that thing. You don't get to a 10 at anything unless it makes you happy doing that thing. You will never exhibit enough. You won't have the drive to acquire the knowledge and the skill set to develop into a 10 unless doing that thing makes you happy in the first place. So he only hires happy people. I thought that was interesting. That was number 30. Lastly, number 31. Number 31. Although he was the wealthiest man on the planet, he was honest about the limitations of his wealth. He was honest about the limitations of his wealth. And this is one of the things that I struggle with today, and I'm not even wealthy yet, right? But he struggled with he was honest about the limitations of his wealth. And because you know that God will bless those who are being a blessing, and he will bless those who bless me. And so I know if I bless certain people, I will be blessed. But because I know that, sometimes I still have to remain honest about the limitations of my resources. And I'm going to say this because we did this on the show. When you are being a blessing to others, right? A lot of us are not doing what we need to do with our resources to get them to the place where our cup runs over. Therefore, when we're blessing other people, we're not blessing them with our excess, right? When you're being a blessing to others, the goal is for your cup to run over, and that which spills into the saucer, you take that and you will be a blessing with. You don't be a blessing with the stuff that's in the cup. The stuff that's in the cup is for you. But when your cup gets full and your cup starts running over and it starts to drip into the saucer, you take that which falls into the saucer and you bless others with that. Too many times we take the stuff that's in the cup. God is constantly blessing us and he's trying to get our cup to fill and overflow. But every time he puts something in our cup, we take it out of our cup and we bless somebody else with it. And then we struggle because we've taken somebody else and blessed somebody else with our blessing. And we've never let our blessing stack up until it runs over. Right? pressed down, shaken together, running over. We never get to the running over. We never get to the press down. What does he mean by press down? Right? When you start to put something into a container, right? That container, depending on what that stuff is, sometimes that container can appear full when it's not actually full. So you have to press it down. So we want he wants your blessing to not only your cup to not only appear full, no, he wants it to actually be full. So he wants to, once the cup looks full, he's going to come in and he's going to press it down. So now your blessing is dense. It's not full of fluff. He's going to press it down to make more room. And then he's going to put more in. And when he puts more in, he's going to press that down and make more room. He's going to put more in. And eventually, after he presses down and compresses it so much, there's just no more room. And then when there's no more room, it's going to start to overflow. And it's in that overflow that you take and bless others with. You don't bless others with the source. You bless others with the overflow that has been produced by the source. It's a problem. You make $3,000 a month. It costs you $3,000 a month to live, but your sister is struggling. So you take part of your $3,000 and you give her $500 to help her with her rent. Now you're short on your existence. And then you cry out to the Lord, Lord, help me get my rent paid. And the Lord is saying, I did help you with your rent. I gave you $3,000 to cover your $3,000 lifestyle. You gave up your $3,000 to somebody else who I gave them what they need for their lifestyle. Chances are they gave what they need to somebody else. Stop doing that. I'm blessing you so that you can get to a place where you have excess. See, if there is discomfort in you blessing somebody else, that ain't of God. He didn't cause you to be a blessing so that when you bless somebody, it hurts you. But sometimes we say it's not the Christian thing to do to hold on to my bill money when somebody else needs their bill paid. I'm going to pay their bill for them. My bill isn't due for another 2 weeks, and then I'm going to figure out how to pay my bill. No, that's still your bill money. I don't care when your bill is due. And we struggle like that. And chances are, if you're struggling like that, you're also struggling with having to be that blessing to the same old people in your life. You know why? Because they have become dependent on your blessing. God is blessing you, and you got people around you who have become dependent on your blessing. And as a result, your cup never runneth over. And I got a feeling that the Heavenly Father is sitting up like, my children, my children. I've opened up the windows of heaven and I've poured up on you an abundance of blessings so that your cup runneth over. But I can't get your cup to a quarter of the way full without you giving everything away. And then you're giving things away to people that I'm not blessing, and I have a reason for not blessing them. Whoa, did I say that out loud? You're giving the blessings that I give to you. You're giving those blessings to somebody else that I'm not blessing, and I have a reason for not blessing them, but by default, they're being blessed anyway because you're giving them your blessing. I'm going to let that sit right there, and we're going to wrap up with that. I don't want to start no mess this morning. I don't want nobody coming after me about that, man, but he's trying to get your cup to run over. And then when your cup run over, you take that which spills into the saucer and you bless others with that. Right? You bless others with that. So that wraps up our show for today. I've got a treat for you guys tomorrow. Any of my friends in Kansas City, I'm on my way to Kansas City tomorrow. Anybody of my friends in Kansas City, let's meet up tomorrow somewhere, and let's chop it up, man. He said the spirit got you now. Yeah, I'm gonna end it right there, man. I'm gonna leave it right there. But you just gotta, you know, you just gotta let your cup run over, and then you can bless others without causing yourself discomfort. And the funny thing is, man, you know, I'm this way. My wife is in this way. Kansas City, Missouri. I'll be probably hanging out on the campus of UMKC where my son is at school there. But and then my sons will be playing ball in a tournament. So I'll try to find a time and give you guys enough notice of where we can hook up, and hopefully it just meshes. I try to do it a day in advance, so I'll look at their schedule, I'll look at my schedule, and see how we can connect tomorrow in Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City, Missouri, Mona. So let's definitely hook up and do some counseling and some game planning for you. So with that, I am H Cortez, who am I? The financial health mentor to the Black community. I was saying tomorrow that if I'm on the road at 7, I will at least, I think I'm going to hit you guys with the Black Business Power Breakfast tomorrow as a replay instead of Free Game Friday. But we had a great time, and that was some powerful information. I was on a panel with some powerful brothers and sisters who were teaching what we do. So that I might have to do that for you guys tomorrow, but you will be blessed by that all the same. My girl Eliani Campbell put that thing together, and it was amazing. So with that, I'm your man, H Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow or Monday, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, y'all.